and welcome back to another video. I've been so excited to shoot this one for you because I'm gonna change your life. Watch this till the end and I promise you will not be the same person, because today I'm gonna give you my top 10 quotes, mindset shifts, beliefs that absolutely changed my life. Okay, so let's go right into it. Number one, you've probably heard this before. For things to change, you have to change. If you keep waiting for your life to change, you will wait forever. Because life is like a mirror. What you give to it, you will receive. If you frown at a mirror, it frowns back, right? But if you smile in the mirror, your reflection smiles back, right? That is exactly the same in life. But I used to wait. I used to sit like this with my arms crossed, not content with my life, but waiting for someone to magically save me, for opportunities to magically change so I could start feeling amazing. That is not how life works. In neuroscience, we call this predictive coding, which means that your brain actually naturally changes reality and sorts out the things that will prove your belief. So let's say you believe you are small and not capable. Your brain will do everything in its power to prove you right. I always tell my clients that you have to imagine that you're the boss of a big company with millions of workers and they all listen to you. This is your brain. So you're the boss, and what you're telling them, they will work to prove it. So if you tell yourself, I am great, I am capable, your brain will start working for you. Your brain is not against you, you are against you. So the hardest truth I had to learn is that nothing in life changes until I change. I literally had to rewire who I believed I was, and then all of a sudden, life changed. Opportunities came. My brain is aligned with who I believe I am. So we need to stop waiting for life to change. We need to be the change we want to see in our lives. And number two, discipline is the bridge between goals and accomplishment. See, your brain doesn't care about your goals. It only cares about evidence. Let me explain. So discipline isn't about punishment. It's about trusting yourself, letting your brain trust you. And this comes for even the smallest things. Like, let's say I say, oh, I'm gonna drink 2 liters of water today. I'm gonna go to the gym today. I'm gonna text my mom today, or whatever it is, and you don't do it, you break trust with your brain. You need to do what you tell yourself you're doing. It needs to be you need to be accountable to yourself. Let's say you have a meeting with someone else, you're showing up, but you need to show up the same way for yourself because it will wire in new pathways. Your brain needs to tell and look at you and be like, wow, she's a person who goes through what she says she's gonna go through. She's a person who is actually having integrity. And then your brain will start believing you. But for years, I was breaking promises to myself. I told myself I was gonna start the gym. I told myself I was gonna start eating healthy. I told myself I was gonna start listening to motivational speeches, just to find myself 2 days after not doing it and waiting to do it on Monday. But this will never get your brain to trust you. But then you still wonder why you keep feeling stuck. That is why. So discipline is literally the bridge between who you are and who you want to be. So you need to lay this brick by brick. I tell my clients it's like building a house. You need to start brick by brick, building this trust, and all of a sudden you will have built the bridge. between who you are and who you want to be. It is all about trust in yourself, which means trust in your brain. So you need to stop waiting to feel motivated. Motivation is a scam. You need to start building the bricks and showing your brain the evidence. I hope this makes sense. But yes, let's move on to the next one. Number 3, you have to stop wishing that life was easier and start wishing that you were just better. This might hit some of y'all, and it hit me right in the chest too, because how come that 2 people with exactly the same life has completely different outcomes? It's all about attitude. And why we have different attitudes to the same thing, that is what we call the wonders of the mind. So you need to understand that struggle isn't proof that you're failing, it is proof that you are rewiring. During tough times in my life, I used to cry and say, why me, why me? Life is so unfair, why does that happen to me? Instead of saying, why me? I started saying, try me. Because I understood that when we go through hardship, resistance literally stretches our brains. It is exactly the same in the gym. When weights builds our muscles, the brain is a muscle too. So resistance stretches the brain, makes you tougher, makes you more resistant to life. So if you look back at your life and remember some of the toughest periods you've went through, they have 100% made you the person you are today and made you the strong person you are today. So you need to stop cursing at the weight on your shoulder and start saying thank you. Thank you, life, for bringing me through this, because I'm only becoming more, I'm only learning more, I'm only becoming better. It is all about attitude. Number 4, you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. You've 100% heard this before, that show me your friends and I will show you your future. And this is very hard because I was a person who always believed that I could drag everyone with me up, right? I had great ambition and I could help everyone and I could take them up with me. That is a lie. So I started shrinking myself to keep the safety in a place I no longer fit into. And that is a very hard truth, that sometimes the reason you feel stuck is because you're in the wrong circle. Because neuroscience shows us that our mirror neurons literally match the emotions, habits, and beliefs of the people around us. If you're around 5 small thinkers, you're going to be the 6. But if you're around 5 millionaires and great thinkers, you're also going to be the 6. And that is where we need to be more hard on ourselves. You do not owe anyone anything. You need to protect your future self by putting yourself in environments that uplift you and doesn't shrink you. It is the same that if you have a bowl of rotten apples and you put a fresh apple into it, it will quickly rotten. It is the same with you. So maybe the reason you feel stuck right now actually has nothing to do with you, but everything to do with your environment, and it's your responsibility to change it. Number 5, success is literally a few simple disciplines practiced every day. So your daily actions build identity, and identity builds empires. So you need to understand that success isn't built in a day. It is built in repetition over and over again. We often overestimate what we can do in a day, but underestimate what we can do in a year. So success is not about big quantum leaps and then one day you're just gonna make it. You're gonna make that one video that's gonna hit the world and make you this and that. No, It is about the consistent effort you put through every single day that is going to build you into a person who is aligned with the success you want to achieve. So neuroscience proves that your repetition is what runs the success. It runs the subconscious mind. So the small acts you do every single day is the things that are going to set you up for success. So right now I need you to think about, what are my daily actions? What is my standard? What do I need to elevate of my standard in order to become a successful person? When you become the identity of a successful person, the success follows. And this leads into number 6. Success is not something you chase, it is something you attract. And it's the same, like let's say you have a magnet. A magnet doesn't run around chasing iron filings. It literally attracts it because it is a magnet. And this is what I need us women especially to focus on. It is that we don't need to hustle and grind and pursue and chase all these things. We simply need to become. When you become the person worthy of success, you will automatically achieve it. So right now, are your habits, are your beliefs aligned with the person you want to become? And if not, maybe that is where you should start. Maybe you should stop looking outwards and start looking inwards. And if you like what you are seeing, and if you're learning something new here, remember to push that like, subscribe, and push button so you can get the notifications of every single time I post something new, so you won't ever miss out of changing your life. Okay, but let's dive right into number 7. Number 7, motivation gets you started, but habits keeps you going. Yes, motivation is a great feeling, but motivation is like a spark, and the spark will go out. Habits is what keeps the fire burning, right? So if you rely on motivation, you really need to check yourself, because in the brain, the basal ganglia is literally what automates your habits. And if your habits are automated, it doesn't need willpower. And that is amazing, isn't it? Because motivation is like caffeine, like we need this little boost. But habits are like oxygen. We need it to survive where we're going. So I was the person who used to start off so strong when I was motivated, and then everything collided when I stopped feeling motivated. And that is a very, very big issue if you want to go far in life with your goals. So what you need to understand is that you do not rise to the level of your motivation, you fall to the level of your habits. So you need to stop waiting to feel ready. You need to start building the habits today that will get you aligned with the person you want to be. And then when they are wired in your brain, in your subconscious system, automatically they will carry you even on the days when your heart feels heavy. You need to raise the standard. And this leads us to number 8. You must suffer in life. And this might be a little controversial just to say out of nowhere, but it is the truth. You need to suffer in life, but you can choose what you want to suffer on. Do you want to suffer the pain of discipline, or do you want to suffer the pain of regret? See, it is painful to be healthy. It is hard. It is hard to be healthy and to always think about it and not to fall into bad habits. But it is also hard to be overweight and not to be happy with what you see in the mirror. It is hard to be positive all the time and to really rewire your brain. But it is also hard to fall into the negativity of lack of self-belief and lack of self-love. So you need to choose what you want, what kind of pain you want. So what you need to understand is that the pain of discipline is only temporary. Like getting up early, going to the gym, like it is annoying in the beginning, but it passes. But the pain of regret, see, that lingers forever. And that is what you need to remember. It is that is when the thoughts of like, oh, I could have done this, I should have done this, what if I did this? You will keep that with you forever. So neuroscience shows that your brain hates pain, but it doesn't distinguish between pain for growth or pain of regret. So that is up to you. You know that your brain hates pain, but you have to choose either one of them. So choose wisely. Choose the pain that makes you a better person instead of choosing the pain that makes you live with regrets. I often say that we are too much focused on right now, what we want right now, so we won't sacrifice for the future. And this is a sentence I love to use. It is that if you don't sacrifice for what you want becomes the sacrifice. And let's move on to number 9. You cannot change the seasons of life, but you can change yourself, right? You can change how you act to it. We've often heard that life is 10% what happens to you and 90% how you react to it. You can't stop the winter from coming, but you can change the sail. See, life moves in seasons. We have the winter that is for endings, that is a bit more rough for most of us. Then we have spring, that is new beginnings, and summer, that is growth, and then autumn, where we harvest everything. And that is just the seasons of life. So you have to learn how to direct the sail in these seasons to fit the wind. See, Jim Rohn said, you can't change the winds, but you can change the sail. And that changed my life forever, because it is so true. We can't change what happens to us in life, but we can definitely change what we get out of it. And peace came when I accepted that every season has its reason. And on to number 10, last but definitely not least, this one absolutely changed my life. Happiness is not something you postpone, it is something you design now. See, a lot of us find ourselves waiting to achieve a certain thing, and then we will be happy. When I get the job, I'll be happy. When I get the relationship, I'll be happy. When I get the education, I'll be happy. When I get a raise, I'll be happy. When I reconnect with my family, I'll be happy. Why not choose to be happy now? That is something that really changed my life, because we spent so much of our lives waiting and thinking that happiness is something that comes from achieving something external. And spoiler alert, it is not. Happiness is a choice. So if you're not happy right now, and this might sting a little, but if you're not happy right now, it's because you choose not to be. It is your own fault. Why not choose to be happy? Because you literally have one life. You have one life, and you can choose to be happy now. And neuroscience shows that joy actually rewires your brain for success. And how does that work? It is because joy releases chemicals in our bodies of like dopamine and serotonin, and it's actually the biggest escalators for success, because it will make you way more motivated, way more creative, way more ready to go. So joy is not a byproduct of success. Joy is a catalyst for success. So like, I see happiness as like oxygen. You can't hold your breath and be like, I'm gonna breathe one day. No, you have to breathe now. You will die if you do not breathe. Yes or no? Yes. You will live an awful life if you don't choose to be happy now. Yes or no? It is the same answer. So choose happiness today. That is the biggest thing I've learned. And I really, really hope that you learned something today. If you did, as I said earlier, go down here and push the like, subscribe, and put on the bell notification button so you will never miss another video. But what I want you to do now is that if you learned something from this, go watch the next video. It's a 10-minute video that will literally change your life, just like this one. Let's keep it going, girl, because the journey of self-development never stops. Have a great, great day.